So you just bought your brand new Glock, or you've been thinking about picking one up. You're really into the idea of how proven the track record is of reliability and durability and how low maintenance and simplistic the firearm is, but perhaps even more alluring to you is the wide and vast and seemingly never-ending aftermarket support. Everybody and their brother makes something for Glocks, and you can completely customize them any way that you want. They all look the same on the shelf, they're just different sizes and calibers, and you want yours to be unique. That's all well and good, but sometimes people take that a bit too far, and in this video we are talking about the most functional upgrades for your Glock. And before we get into it, in case you guys are interested in any of the stuff shown before you here in this video, make sure you check the link pinned in the comment section below to the link tree. That'll take you to a separate page, and our website is listed there as well as many other goodies, so be sure to check that out. Also, for the sake of this video, we're not counting ammunition or spare magazines. To me, that's a given. You should definitely have a bunch of range ammo that you go and train with and practice and learn how to shoot that gun that you're going to hopefully never have to, but one day might defend your life with. It's very, very important. Buy it cheap, stack it deep. It pays to be a prepper. So make sure you have a good amount on hand in case of a rainy day or zombies. And being out of Illinois, I don't think I have to tell you folks that it's very, very important to stock up on your magazines, okay? Same thing, buy them cheap, stack them deep, because you may never be able to get them again. Depending on what goes through the legislation and this, that, and the third, it's always an issue. It's always a point of contention, and especially if it's anything quote-unquote high capacity, which we call standard capacity. Either way, mags and ammo. Gun don't shoot with no bullets in it. Your flashlight don't work with no batteries in it. And your car ain't gonna drive if it ain't got no gas in it. And magazines are disposable. They can break. You can lose them. If you actually do shoot and train, like you should, to be proficient with the firearm, eventually things wear out. That's just the nature of mechanical devices. They can and will fail at some point. So make sure you have a decent stockpile of them. The gun, depending on the generation, comes with 2 or 3 magazines, but that's simply not enough in my opinion. I recommend having at least 10 magazines per each semi-automatic pistol that you own, and that's bare minimum in my opinion. So if you have 2 Glocks, that's 20 mags. Alright, first functional upgrade everybody, and I do mean everybody, should do to their Glock right out of the box. Sights. You need sights, okay, and they need to be metal sights. Ditch those crappy plastic placeholders that Glock gives you out of the box and put on some real steel sights. They don't have to be night sights, but considering that we exist in both a day and night cycle, probably not a bad option. And considering most bad stuff happens in the dark and you cannot shoot what you cannot see, a proper weapons light. So a Surefire X300, either A or B model, or a Streamlight TLR7, TLR1HL, any of the HLX models, any of the new stuff, but basically Streamlight or Surefire across the board are my go-to options, and it is super important that you are able to identify the threat. 1, to be able to effectively engage them, but 2, what if that's not a threat, right? What if that is not a threat? What if that bump in the night was your son or daughter sneaking out to go meet their significant other at the park down the street to make kissy face? You have to know where those bullets are going and at whom, because you are responsible for each and every one that leaves your muzzle. Well, honestly, folks, after the sights and the light, you could pretty much stop there. Now, if you have an MOS pistol, which is cut for a red dot, this one is not, but I'm thinking about sending it off to Jaegerworks to have it cut. Then maybe I'd throw a dot on it. I would always recommend learning to shoot irons, knowing how to shoot irons, and having backup irons even if you have a dot on the pistol, and backup irons that you could see. So if you know you're going to throw a dot on your pistol, make sure you get suppressor height or co-witness height sights to be able to see through that dot if and when it fails. But if you don't have an MOS pistol and you're not putting a red dot on your gun like everybody on Instagram, you could pretty much stop there. Everything else is a nicety past that, not a necessity. Now, of course, I do indeed partake in some of those niceties myself, and one of those that I find extremely functional is a magwell. This one is from Zev. It's all aluminum, which I really like because I'm a metal gun guy to begin with, so any extra metal I can get on these polymer pistols, I'll take it. But the magwell does a few things. For one, improves your grip, in my opinion. I think it helps push your hand higher into the tang of the pistol and provides you a better purchase overall so you can better manage recoil. Also on top of that, that little bit of extra weight perhaps can balance out the gun better for you. And of course, the ease of insertion of that magazine on a reload is a vast improvement. And remember folks, under adrenaline, when bad things are happening, fingers tend to turn to flippers. So your dexterity kinda takes a loss. So having a little bit of room for error, probably not a bad idea either. And lastly folks, we've got some base plates. Because we've got multiple magazines, right? So we need multiple base plates. This one specifically is a Terran Tactical, and these are the name in the game in magazine base plates for Glocks. The way that it attaches to the magazine is super secure. It's all aluminum, so you have some added weight, which helps it drop out of the gun more quickly when reloading. And when it's in the gun, you've got a heavier gun, so in theory, shoots that much softer. They're finely machined. They come in a wide variety of colors and gives you a little bit more grabbing out of a mag pouch as well. So really no downside. But again, at the end of the day, niceties, not necessities. Functionally speaking, you need steel sights on the gun. Functionally speaking, you need to be able to identify threats and be able to engage threats during all hours of day, including night. After that, it's all up to you. It's all preference. I personally would discourage upgrading internals outside of OEM offerings. Yeah, there's plenty of companies that have made their bread and butter off of Glock triggers and this and that, but I've seen them fail from almost every company that makes them. Glock themselves offers the performance trigger, and that definitely can be an upgrade, but I myself tend to like the factory trigger out of the box for this being what it is, a defensive pistol. I like that wall. I like that nice hard click to the reset. Just train. Just shoot. Get reps with the gun. Dry fire. It's free. You'll learn that trigger and be able to shoot bullseyes at 30 yards no problem. That's an Indian, not the arrow issue. And you cannot buy skill. But you can buy function, and function over form. It doesn't have to be the prettiest thing. It just has to work. So, that's my take on it. All y'all, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below what you guys do to your Glocks and what your standard setup is and any recommendations you might have. Make sure you check that link in the comment section below to the link tree because you can find all this stuff there. And make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and stay tuned for the next one. We appreciate it.